beat to your drum. Achieve success with global.media.com and celebrate it with or without champagne.
Hello, hello. Yes, finally we are live. All right, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are joining us from all over the world. It's a privilege to be here again on another edition of our Positivity Friday Live. The last time we came up here was about a month ago. We took a short break because of some few things happening behind the scenes, but we are so glad to be back. We are so excited to bring in the energy, to bring in the positivity to us once again. So we appreciate everyone who has been part of this community, who have been supporting our event, and who has been showing up for us again and again every Friday. We say we love you, we appreciate you, and we celebrate you. Today happens to be the first edition of the month of June, and I know we are meeting for the first time on screen like this. So we say Happy New Month and welcome to the month of June. J for June, J for joy. That's how I tag it, and I'm very excited to be here. And so that we can let the world know that you are here with us. We have our brother, our friend already with us, Mr. Ross Edge in the building. Welcome. And Uncle Mike is in the building as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, keep dropping the comments. One thing we do here is we celebrate ourselves, we celebrate our own, and we amplify each other's voices to let the world know that you, as unique as you are, as special as you are, as important as you are here with us. In this space, we are a big family. It does not matter who you are, it does not matter where you're from, it does not matter where you are joining us from. We say thank you. Please drop a comment. Tell us where you are joining us from. So not just hello, hi, how was your day? Tell us the country you are joining us from so that we can let the world know that we have thousands of people join us from all over the world. Name it, from Europe, from America, from Africa, from Asia, from Australia. As the case may be, we have a community all over the world. So as you drop in your comment, kindly tell us where you are joining us from so that we can shout you out. Selassie, thank you so much. We see you. My sister Margaret is in the building. Hi, Margaret. You say hello, everyone. Thank you for your invite, Mr. Positivity. Thank you so much, Margaret, for accepting our invite and taking our time out of your busy schedule to be here. Thank you. Thank you so much. Shante. Yes, we have Shante in the building. Thank you so much. Say hello, everyone. For baby lady. Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much, Shante, for all you do. We see you, we appreciate you, and it's so glad to have you here. All right, we have Mr. Sebastian in the building. He say hi everyone from Montreal, Canada. Thank you so much, Mr. Sebastian. That's my brother right there. And I'm looking forward to meet you later after the show. And for me, I'm always excited to see that we have audience from all over the world. Never forget, the reason why we do this is about you because we believe that everyone matters. It does not matter what you want to do in life. People are the center of it all. We are people centered, we are people oriented, and we are always passionate about people. And our vision remains spreading positivity to every corners of the earth, one person at a time. We believe in the power of community. We believe that no one deserves to go through life all by themselves. Together we can do so much more. Together we are one. Together we can achieve greatness. Together we can achieve success together. When we talk about togetherness, it's not a function of your skill, social status. It's not a function of your financial status. In this place, we are one big family and we support one another. So feel free to be part of this conversation. The link is in the comment section. For those of us on LinkedIn, we are streaming on different platforms on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Twitch. So you can either join us from all of these platforms. Feel free to join us on stage because today's conversation is a powerful conversation that each and every one of us can resonate with. The topic is, where do you go for support? In preparation for this topic, it so much thoughts went through my mind because personally, in the month of May, I had to go through so much that led me to where I am today. And it dawned on me the need for us to have support. The question is, who builds the builders? Who lead the leaders? Who encourages those that encourages others? So these are questions that we need to ask ourselves. Because as entrepreneur, the journey sometimes can be lonely. The journey sometimes can be a long one, but then the ability for you to have support system, to have people around you, it's very, very important. My mentor once taught me that when a well runs dry, nobody goes to a well that is dry. No? You can only go to a well that has water. So how can you make the well to continue to have water? Is to source the well with more water. It's a conversation that we are going to have different opinions today. And like I said, free to join us because my experience is not your experience. Jamie experience, leader is different from your experience. So free on stage, be part of the conversation, share your thoughts to inspire thousands of people out there all over the world who are joining in the conversation. We have our godfather in the video. Hi, Mr. Annie, how are you doing?
Good. I had to rush back from dropping my son off, but here I am. Good to see you,
All
Lydia,
right.
of course. Jamie, and you, of course.
Hello, hello.
Welcome all. Who's in our comments?
Yeah,
Miss Margaret.
we have so many persons in the comment section, but when we go in there, we're just gonna do the introduction, then we go into our meditation section and we start the conversation proper. Yeah, so for those who don't know me, probably you see me for the very first time on your screen. You can see the name Zion Inogil, you're Mr. Positive Energy. I'm a positivity coach and mentor. I help people embrace positivity intentionally. I tell you, we live in a world where people are going through so much. And sometimes it can be so overwhelming, it can be so challenging to do next. But having that person to always inspire you, that's where I come in. You need somebody to hold you by your hand, to hold you accountable, to embracing positivity intentionally. Feel free to reach out to me so that we can go on a journey of positivity together. And if you're looking forward to host online event just like this, you have a voice, you have a message, you want to spread the word, you have a business you're doing, you want people to know you, to get to trust you and like you, and you want to amplify your voice. We host online events just like this. We help you do all the logistics, put it together, and place it in front of a target audience. If that resonates with you, feel free to reach out to me, and I tell you, it's a journey that each and every one of us is going to grow together. Right about now, I'm going to pass the mic to my co-host so that he can introduce himself. I know it's supposed to be lady first, but because of the peculiarity of our meditation section, we are going to put the ladies to come in a grand style. So she can, after the introduction, she get to do our meditation section. For those who don't know, so I'm going to pass the mic to King Jamie, Mr. Annie, and then Lydia, so we can go in that way. So King Jamie, the mic is yours.
All right, all right. Hello, everyone. Yes, we're in the June swoon, right? It's halfway in the year, and excited to be back with the families here, right? Everybody. We got all four of us are here. We got people in the chat. Zion was talking about things that J stood for, and I'm like, J and June, J and Jamie, right? So there we go. So let me introduce myself. It's good to be back. I am Jamie Edwards, and I'm coming from the United States in Illinois, in the Midwest, where we are finally getting, it's in June now, obviously, so we're finally getting some good warm weather here, which is great. And just tell you a little bit about myself, for those who don't know me and for those who do. I do career coaching, and I have my own company called Jam Sessions with Jamie. And I help job seekers and people who are looking to get into who are currently working and looking to get into a new opportunity. I help them with different parts of their job search. So I help people with resume writing. I help people with interview practice, and I help people with LinkedIn profile optimization. Sorry, I was looking at Mike's long breaking news comment here, which is his. He loves to shout us out, right? So I love this. It's always his witty comments. Yes, I do career coaching. I help people with all three of those things, and I've been doing this now for a little bit over 3 years. I've helped many job seekers throughout their career path, everyone from college graduates all the way up to people who are in senior positions like management, vice presidents, CFO type positions. So I help all different types of people in their career path. And my goal is to get people into an opportunity that they feel fulfilling, right? That they enjoy doing. There's a lot of people out there who are still looking for their next opportunity. There's people who are in a current job that feel like they're stuck in a dead end and they don't know what to do next. And that's kind of my job, is to help people get on that path and find something that they feel good about doing. They wake up every morning feeling a sense of fulfillment. They're not just going into work, punching the clock. They're actually going into a job that they feel like they're making an impact in and they enjoy doing every day. So that's what I do. I've been doing this, like I said, for a while now. I love it. It's a great feeling to get people hired and get people working into a great job. And if there's anyone out there who's looking for their next opportunity, feel free to schedule a discovery call with me. It doesn't cost anything to have a conversation. I'd love to talk about your career path and learn more about what you're looking to do next and see if it's something I can help with. So that's a little bit about me. And I'm going to pass it over to Annie next, who is right below me on the screen here. I don't know if it's in the same position as everyone else, but Annie, my friend, go ahead. It's good to see you again. Introduce yourself.
Awesome. I'm still having fun day by day doing what I do best. So I find those people who do amazing things, who've got amazing solutions, and I help them to bring back to the world. So at best of times, I work with people to write their books, to publish their books, and now to sell their books. So we have a target, which means we have to create a system to achieve the target. The target is quite simple. They want to publish 10,000 books, sells 5,000 books for each author, and that would help authors raise the money to fund their books. If any of that sounds interesting to you, let's talk. I'll share the secrets that we use with you and see what that will help you make your book dreams come true. I'll leave it there. I'm desperate for the meditation section, so I'll pass it right to Lydia.
Okay, thank you, Annie. Something I notice about all of us is that everybody is helping you to succeed and helping you to have your best life. Isn't that cool? That's why we're here. Zion's helping you to succeed through the support of unconditional positive energy. Jamie is helping you succeed through getting direct support with your purpose and your job and your sustainability. And Annie is giving you support through getting your voice out there and helping you to actually direct that. So if you haven't met me, because I haven't been around a whole lot lately, but I don't think none of us have for the last month, I'm Lydia, and I have a company called The Joyful Path. And at The Joyful Path, we hone a state of Jedi calm, because calm is the beginning of everything. If you need to heal, find your purpose, get along with your partner, get a job, if you have to win a fight, for goodness sake, you need to be calm. Anything you do, you need to be calm. And so what I do is at the doorway for anybody, I do a 2-minute nervous system reset. And as we go, we have groups for finding your peace, so that you can have resolution at work, so that you can end inner conflict, so that you can be your best. Because everybody's either outwardly or inwardly a basket case lately. I don't know if you've noticed this. People are meditating, they're box breathing, they're doing all the things, and they're still a basket case. And and you may not notice it of other people. You may think you're the only basket case because you, like everybody else, is putting on your best face and you're brushing that other stuff under the rug because you're saying, it's going to pass. Very soon I'll get good sleep. Someday I won't be sleepy in the middle of the day. Someday I'll be able to focus. I'll be okay. It'll all pass. But do you know that in the United States, 75% of people have reported that they are stressed? That's not just the US, but 29% of people aren't getting good sleep. And 20% of people are actually having cognitive impairment, like they're having trouble thinking because they're so stressed. Here, we are supporting you with positive energy. I support you with nervous system regulation, and at the other end of what I do, I actually support you all the way in your purpose so that you can skyrocket what it is that you want to do with your life. It all starts with calm. So right now, I am going to invite you to take a slow, deep breath and notice your feet on the floor, all of your little toes, and all of the bones and muscles there that support you every day. Notice the feeling of the air as it enters your nostrils. And as you breathe out, notice the beautiful warmth that you add to the atmosphere around you. As you breathe in, notice your consciousness and allow it to be behind your eyes and place it right up and let it float back to rest as if perched on the branch of a tree. It's watching your thoughts float by with more and more space between them. And as you take your next deep breath, notice the tingling up at the top of your head and see a soft golden light there. Feel it floating down over your nose and your jaw, your neck and your back. Everything softening and relaxing. Your shoulders, your chest, your abdomen, and feel that beautiful light of peace moving slowly around your abdomen, supporting you with unconditional peace and love, and bringing out everything that you don't need. And as you take another deep, slow breath, feel your connection to the earth, like a root coming through and down from your spine, down from your feet, and feel that connection flow up and into your abdomen, giving you the feeling of unconditional support. And that's always there. Just like the breath that you feel now, But even when you don't feel it, it's still there. And that breath is for you. This support is for you. This peace is for you. Every moment of every day of your life. As you take in one more slow, deep breath, feel your connection to yourself. Feel all of your parts calm and know that this is you. This is where your answers are. This is where your essence is. And this is always here for you. And now we're going to join everyone else on the call and come back feeling refreshed and alert. Come back now in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back. Eyes open, refreshed and alert, full of peace.
Always, thank you so much, Lydia, for that powerful section. Yeah, sometimes you don't realize how much you miss this until you get to feel it again. Thank you for always inspiring us. It has a way of putting your mind in a calm state where you feel like, whoa, I want to fly. I can take on anything right now. Thank you so much, Lydia. We appreciate you. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for the calm, the presence, the atmosphere that you help us to build even before the conversation starts. I know King Jamie and Mr. Eddie will have something to say concerning this. Let me just simply pass the mic to them. You're both muted, though.
Yeah, thank you.
There we go.
It's always great to meditate. Yeah, can't meditate enough times in a day, right? So
Yeah.
it does bring calm. And that calm, that peace is the most strangest thing in life, really. For me, that peace of mind is what I live for, and what I work for, amazingly. So thank you.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I missed those. That was wow. Yeah, we have you more. We have to have you coming back more often, Lydia. I mean, like I said, you're always a part of this team, right? But that was something that hasn't been here for a while, right? And I think that everybody, and we got the comments in here too. Talking about listen. To, I could listen to Lydia read the phone book. Yeah, are phone books still even a thing? I don't know about that, Mike. But yes, that's great. I love that. That's. I mean, it was a sense of calm right there, and thank you for that, Lydia, as always.
And someone said they fell asleep a little bit.
It's a fine line,
Right?
isn't it, between meditating and that fine balance between being awake and being on the edge of the supernatural. I call it that. That's why I live it. Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes I do fall asleep.
It's one of the best places to be, just before you're asleep or just on the edge of a nap or just after a nap. All of a sudden, all the problems have answers, all the things that you wanted to write come to mind and you can do it. It's an amazing time. I agree with you, Annie.
All right, thank you so much. It's so amazing. Like I said, guys, if you want to join the conversation, you want to be part of the stage, the link is in the comment section. Free to join us and be part of the. Yeah, I think yes, that's the link. Click on it on your browser or copy the link, put on your Chrome browser. It's going to bring you up on a backstage, and we cannot wait to hear your thoughts on this conversation. Where do you go for support? As simple as it is, yet powerful question that most of us do not get to answer every day of our life. There's something I've come to realize on my journey as an entrepreneur. It's the strongest people and not the people who carry all the bodies all alone. It's not the one not the one that say, "Oh, I can do all things." It's the people who knows when they need support, who knows where to ask for help, who have people around them where they can actually reach out to say, you know what, today I feel tired. I just need to encourage me. Today I don't feel like it. I just need to support me. People who knows when to go out and say, you know what, today I'm not my best self, who are vulnerable enough to pour it all out. For most people, we can pretend to be strong, and majority of persons are guilty of this. We all pretend to be strong, we all pretend to be up out there, but at the end of the day, the strongest people, it's not those who think they can carry, because life was not meant to be done alone. Life was not meant to be done all by yourself. So having people is key. For me, having a support system is non-negotiable. The where do you go? It's very, very important, because for most people, where you go for support can even break you even further. Where you go for support can even make you feel more miserable, more tense, more overwhelmed. That's why where you go for support is very important. As much as you are going for support, the place you are seeking support from, it's key, just to keep you flowing, just to keep you going, just to keep you grounded in your journey. For me, when people look at me most of the time, not just me, I've seen a lot of persons, when people look at it, they feel, oh, you're naturally strong. Don't worry. I don't think you need support. I don't think you need help. There are people who naturally appear like that. As true as it may be, but a little act of kindness, a little kind words, a little word of encouragement, a tap in the back can go a long way to even make the strong get stronger, to even make those who are up there go more higher. So it's as simple as that. This conversation for me is very personal, and I believe it's also very personal to people out there, because we are all entrepreneurs, we are all doing business, we are all helping people all over the world. But at the end of the day, who helps you? Who is supporting you? Who is pouring into you? Who is sharing you? Who is lending you their strength? Because as you go on the journey, you understand that every day might not be the best day. Every day you don't feel 100%. Some days you don't feel 100%. There are days I wake up, I don't even feel like it. There are days I wake up, the energy is not just there. But having a support system, having people I can run to, people that can call, that can text, that can reach out to, has really changed my life and helped me become a better person. That's why the question is coming, where do you go for support? I've come to realize that being vulnerable is not weakness. Being vulnerable does not mean you are weak. Telling people you don't feel like it or this is what you are going through doesn't mean you're a weak person. It simply means you know that you are human after all. And every human at the end of the day, we get tired. That's why we have to sleep. That's why you have to eat. If you work and work without eating, you're going to get hungry. If you work and work and work without sleeping, your body's going to break down at some point. So also, it supports having a support system. It's the same way food is for the belly, sleep is for the body. The same way support system is for the journey as an entrepreneur. For me, having people in my cycle, the I don't have to go too far. Having the people on my screen like here, Jamie, Annie, Lydia, and few of my amazing friends who are in the comment section, where we tend to have conversation here and then. Oh, I need help with this. I need support with this. Can you help me with this? Do you have an idea about this? What do you think about this? These are things that has really pushed me and helped me to get to where I am today. At the end of the day, man does not live in isolation. It does not matter who you are, does not matter where you're from, you're still going to need people. The vision might be personal, might be yours, but at the end of the day, the journey is not personal. Yes. Oh, I think Lydia has to go. Oh, thank you so much, Lydia. We really appreciate you. I think I didn't see that comment on time. Okay, Lydia, thank you so much. We love you and we hope to see you again next week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. For me, like I was saying earlier, having people around you, to always lend you their strength and support you, it's very, very important. Going through life, having friends, some person can be your family. For some persons, what we have having to interview some people and listen to podcasts, you see people, oh, the biggest support in my life is my family. Or for some, they can say, oh, it's my friend. Oh, it's this person. As successful as they are, you know, they've achieved their goals, they've achieved their dream, but you always hear them make references to the people who supported them, to the people who was behind them. For those of us who watch football match or soccer, for those of us in Africa, we call it football. In America, we call it soccer. You will see as the players are playing in the football field, they have the supporters all around the stadium. They have the technical team, you have the coach who are always giving instruction, cheering them up. There are times a team might be losing 2 goals to nothing, and because of the energy that comes from the crowd, you can see them, they equalize and they even come back to win the game. It's a simple illustration of what it means to have a support system. That even you when you are losing, even though when you're not achieving your goal, having a support system can be an extra force, can be an extra energy, can be that which actually really motivates you, to push forward, to achieve your dreams, to achieve that aspiration, and to keep going. Because yes, it's okay to get tired. It's okay to want to recharge, relax, and take a step back to reset. It's okay. By the end of the day, having those people around you to help you reset, to help you recharge, in your life, who can you talk to right now? Who is that person in your life you can pick up a call to say, you know what, this is what I'm going through. I need you to encourage me. I need your support. And they will be there for you. And having a support system, if there's one thing I've learned from any and from few others, it is born from a place of having good communication and relationship. Let's not take that for granted. The one way for you to have people to like you, to love you, to trust you, and really be there for you. It's communication and having that relationship with people. For most people, until you get to when you need support, you now realize that, oh, I don't even have anybody around me. I don't even have anybody I can call. I don't even have anybody I can reach out to. Why? Because in your journey, you'll be focused on achieving your goals and forgetting people. So as much as you are looking forward to achieve your goal and pushing your aspiration, do not forget people. Reach out to people. Be concerned about people. Ask about people. One of my mentors said, "You don't build relationship when you need it. You build relationship before you will ever need it." So it's not when you need help, you not come, oh, I need help. For people you've not had conversations with, you don't have a relationship with, you've not have spoken with before, it's difficult. Yeah, for some they might show up for you, but then a lot of persons might not be able to show up for you the way they are supposed to show. But having a relationship with people, that conversation, that hello, that hi, at interval, it might not be every day, it can be once a month, it can be once in 2 weeks, it might not be as frequent as it should be, but then make sure having that line of communication is key. Because having a support system is not found, it is built. It is built from a place of relationship, it is built from a place of communication. It's not magic. It's not something you snap your finger and boom, support system just show up. No, support system come from a place of trusting you, knowing you, having conversations with you, and getting to know you as a person. This conversation is a very long one. I don't want to be the only one talking and talking and just keep going. I know my co-hosts have a lot to say, and then we're going to be inviting some persons who are already in the backstage to come up on stage to get to share with us their thoughts on these, on what it means to have a support system, and where do you go to for support. So thank you so much. I really mic now to King Jimmy, and then Mr. Annie can jump in.
Man, a lot of good points there, Zion. And, talking about support, and, I'll be brief with my comments because I can echo a lot of the same things that you said as well. But, when it comes to support and just having, good people around you that you can go to when times are tough, growing up, before I even became an entrepreneur and I was working for companies, I always thought that having such a big circle was, an indication of how many, how much support you had and how many friends you had. And, the bigger the circle was better. Right. And come to that conclusion, unfortunately, some of those people in that big circle are not in my circle today. Right. Because there was a falling out, or they weren't as supportive as they could have been, or they did things behind my back. And, I started realizing that, big circles aren't really that important. What's more important now is having a smaller circle of good supportive people around me who I know will go to bat for me and who will help me out when I need them, and who are some people who I can trust to give me good support. Right. So I focused on having such big amount of circle of acquaintances who I thought were supportive, to now having a smaller circle of people who are a stronger bond with their hands around each other that I know are not going to let go. Right. So, talking about the whole supportive, from a supportive thing to being an entrepreneur, I think about, once again, doing my career coaching over the last few years. Right. It's not always been highs all the time. Right. There's been times where it's been weeks since maybe I've had a client I've worked with. Right. Or maybe, I'm struggling to do something for a client or help them out with something. Or maybe it's been a little bit longer of a time that they've gotten an opportunity. Right. And I'm having to work with them for a long time. And I'm starting to question myself a little bit, because I'm like, what's going on here? This isn't like normally how I am. Right. But that support, I know that I can turn to specific people. I know that the people in this group, like, even though maybe there's not a background of career coaching with some people, right? I know I can go to Zion. I know I can go to Annie. I know I can go to Lydia, right? I know I can go to Isa, right? Or Simona, who, like I said, kind of doing different things now, right? But I know these people were in this, I've been in this group for a while. I know I can go with them with any questions if I ever need that support. And have I ever gone to them personally yet? No, I haven't, because it's not something I've had to do at this time or felt like I need to do, but I know that I can bring something up to them anytime and they'll help me the best way they can. Right. I know my family behind me, right? My brothers and sisters, my mom, my partner, Erica, right? I know I can go to them and they'll be there for me. And even though maybe they don't know the same things that I know that I can count on them for support to just cheer me up a little bit if I need something, right? Or if I just want to vent about things going on, I know those people will be there to me to listen, and they've never broken my trust before. Right. So that's a big thing when it comes to, support in general, is knowing who are those people that you can trust to be in your corner. Right. Who are those people? Oh, hold on. Something's going on here. Hold on. Let's see here.
Fine.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Perfect.
Okay, that was weird. I don't know what was going on there. But yeah, I know those people I can go to, are trust, right? Are trustworthy people. And, speaking of that, there's other career coaches that I know that have been doing this a lot longer than me, who I've built a relationship with me, who I know are not just in this business for themselves. They want to continue to grow and build around them. And they realize that it's not always competition. Right? But instead, it's all about cohesiveness and collaboration, right? So I know those people who are doing career coaching like me, that I can go to them anytime and I can pick their brain a little bit and say, hey, what are you doing in this? What would you do in this situation? Right? Or how do you handle something like this? And I know that they're not going to shove me away, and they're not going to think, well, this is competition trying to get advice out of me. They're thinking as, you know what? It's better to build strong bondings with people in the same career path and the same background, because once again, we grow together, right? We grow together, we grow strong as a team. And that's the people who are excelling, and the entrepreneurs who are doing really well realize that not everything is a competition, but that when you have strong people in your corner who you can trust for support and who are there for you, it's going to work for everybody, and everybody's going to grow and everybody's going to win. Right. So that's kind of what I think when it comes to support and who are some of the people that I go to. I know Annie's going to, continue this conversation with us. So I'm going to pass it over to him. And then I think we have somebody else on stage as well too. We'll be sharing this and opening this up to other people on the call, so we can all share some thoughts. So, Annie, over to you, my friend.
Awesome. No, there's always more, but you two share some gems, which I'm sure I want to touch on in a second. No, let's welcome our friends properly. Otherwise, I always feel guilty when I don't welcome people who give us their time. Russ, welcome. How you doing? So I see Super Mike is here as well. I haven't seen you for a while, Mike. No, Mike always makes amazing comments, so they gave me a comment to see. Mr. Selassie, how you doing? Superwoman Margaret, I see you too. So Shantae, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, everyone. Fur baby lady here. Fur baby, is that dogs? Teddy bears? I'm sure it's dogs, right? But dogs and cats. Correct me, please, if I've got it wrong. Sebastian, long time. Glad you're here as well. Am I missing anyone? Dr. Marcia, our Christian based coach, is here as well. Welcome, welcome out. So glad you're here. So Mike, Mike always has good words to say about everyone. Yeah, of course, he says good things about all of us. Yeah, as Mike says, Jamie out here moving through the HR universe like a career launching superhero. That's you, Jamie. Connecting people to opportunities with the precision of a five-star recruiter and the heart of somebody who genuinely wants everyone to win. Resumes straighten themselves. There's more, right? Resumes straighten themselves. When Jamie enters the chat, LinkedIn starts sparkling, and suddenly the job market feels less like a maze and more like a VIP networking event. Go on, Jamie. Good for you, my friend. Good for you. So, Mrs. Z, you can't make comments from here. I do too, so don't forget that. Dr. Lisa, how are you? Dr. Lisa is the one who took menopause. And she's just got entered into an award, an Icon Woman's Award. Yes, something like that, right? So please do vote for her. Lisa, let's share the link in the comments. Basically, if you scroll down the page, you find Lisa in the health advocacy section. It means nothing to you now, but when you go to the page, you see what I mean. It's just a click to vote. It takes you 5 seconds if that. Yeah, so please let's do that. So Gianluca, I see you. Wendy, welcome. I take the easy way out, Wendy. Yeah, if you know if I need you, of course I take the easy way out, right? Now, the easy names who I pronounce. Nigerian names can complicate my little brain every so often. Hello, hola, Oluwafumi, welcome, welcome, welcome. Sharon Rose, how are you? Where have you been? Who else have I missed? Have I missed anyone? I don't think I have. If I have missed you, do forgive me. So I'm trying to scroll through very quickly. So anyway, welcome all of you. Welcome all of you. Look, this is a huge topic. So before I share that, as I say, of course, I want to mention Margaret's two new books. You've got a guide and a workbook on parenting your children. So do connect with her and do check out those books. They're available for purchase right now. So, Mr. Tabilova, how are you?
I'm okay. Good to see you.
Yes,
It's been a
that's
long
right.
time.
I'm happy to see you, my friend. Please share with us. What's your take? Where do you go for support?
Good to see you, Sion.
Of course.
Good to see you, T2B. Welcome. Yeah, Toby, you can go
Please,
ahead.
I want to confirm you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear
Loud
you.
and clear, we can hear you.
Very perfectly.
Okay, thank you. The conversation I met was when you were sharing about you cannot build a relationship when you need it. You build a relationship because you will need it, right? And one way or the other, we all need help at some point. And then if we do not build a relationship that enable us to be able to run to them rather, when we need them, then there's so many opportunities we miss in our lifetime. I understand one thing: as much as your skill is an advantage for you, your savings is an advantage for you, your social media presence, your personal brand, all of these are advantage for you. And also the same thing with relationship that you build, right? You must see it as an advantage. And you don't build relationship because you will need help from the person. You build it because you also want to add value to the life of the people that come across to you. And when we are saying when we need help, when we talk about help, most times what comes to our mind is financial help, or when I need money, who do I run to? That's what really comes to our head most of the time. But at the same time, there are some situations, some problems we're going through, we get into on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a quarterly basis. And we should know that it is not all the time we can find solutions to most of our problems. Sometimes we must be able to learn that the kind of relationship we keep can actually help us to overcome some challenges, to overcome some problem, ahead in life faster. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Go for it.
You're good. You're good.
Okay.
Things are going well.
So we must understand that while we build relationship, while we grow on our day-to-day activities, as much as we take it so important to build our skills, to get our business running, you should know also that relationship as something you should pour your attention, pour your energy into. It enable you to get some things you need done faster than you can imagine. So when next you are meeting people, you must understand that what do you want to bring to them? How do you want to add to their life? And at the end of the day, when you need them, it's more easier for you to run to them, to tell them, oh, I run to this also thing in my business. Can you help me to do this? Can you help me to do this? And just as much as there are level to relationship, you should know there are level to how you can be able to ask from people, how you be able to seek help from them when you need one. Someone you've not given your attention to, you've not been of help to one way or the other. It will be difficult for you to run to them when you also need help. So, who do I now run to? Do I run to when I need support? I run to some of my friends. I have friends that I can easily run to. Oh, I need this, I need that. I run to this. I'm stranded by this, by that, and then help me. Why? Because me too, I'm not going to say no whenever they need help. So build relationship not only because you are expecting help, but because once you choose to be friendly, and you've also find yourself a friend. So very important that you build a relationship not only based on the fact that you need something from those people, but also because it's important that you build relationship that enable you to overcome some challenges. It's when we run to crisis that we always need another support from people. I'm going to use the mic right on this page. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you for joining us, my friend. Thank you so much. I mean, say such amazing comments to Mike on YouTube. Mike, do like, comment on today's video, please. It's a true support to the personal level. It's a rare commodity. And outside of the lives, I don't feel LinkedIn is good for community building. It's my belief that LinkedIn rewards performative behavior. That's like acting, right? No. Mike, I don't know. I disagree with you, really. You know, I meet people every day who tell me LinkedIn is for business, and you're like, no, LinkedIn is full of people. And where there are people, I think we can build those relationships that Tabalova, Jamie, and Mrs. Z spoke about. I think that's where it starts. That's where it middles. That's where it finishes, right? You know, can we have real friends online? Yes, we can. You know, if you say and so
Yes,
that's
yes,
you know, I think that's simply doing what real friends do. You know, it doesn't matter the medium, right? You know, so I know I can call Toggle over any day of the week. I can call Jamie I can call Mrs. Z any moment, even at midnight, 3 in the morning. I can call my friends because they really are my friends. You know, I don't have that. Online is something, and then real life is something else, right? I just don't
um
have that. Some people, a lot of
please, can I
people
say
do.
something?
Mr. Go on, Toggle over.
Yes, like from the fact that you see LinkedIn as a place of business alone, that is not true.
Hmm.
Exactly, to me is not true. You're my friend. I met Zion here on LinkedIn. I met you here on LinkedIn. I met a whole lot of people that have changed my life on LinkedIn. I've met someone who will call me. Okay, let me tell you, this happened like a day. It's less than 24 hours that happened. I was going to write my exams. I'm having issues with everything. And I reached out to my friend in Pennsylvania, right? Who I met on LinkedIn, Dietrich. Reach out to another one in UK, who I met on LinkedIn. Then they solved this problem for me. Not only because based on business, but people that you care about them enough to check how they are doing, not when you need them. And I guess people that serve God, that's where they find it so difficult to get from God, right? Because they don't have good relationship with God.
Hmm.
They only come to Him when they need it. They don't build relationship. They don't even know the language of God. They cannot even differentiate the voice of God from the voice of human. They can't really differentiate that. So they find it so difficult to be able to ask and get the best from God. There's this verse that I'm going to say. He said, those who know their God, they shall be strong and do exploits. It means the intimacy, it's what brings you to know more. So if you build intimacy with the people you meet, you get to know them beyond just the fact that you want to get something from them. You just want to get money from them, get financial help from them, but get to know them deep down, what they are going through. I never knew that I was going to need Dietrich's help that day, that same day. Then I just called her, Dietrich, I just got to encourage you that no matter what is going on right now, life is going to be beautiful. This, I begin to share things. Do you know that it was not up to 5 hours that I needed her help? She couldn't say no, but I never had it in mind because I wanted to ask for help, right? So when you build the relationship based on the fact that you want to help, you need friends, then you get the best from it. Anything outside that, forget it. I have seen a friend I meet here on LinkedIn who has been so much blessing to me, financially, career wise, whichever way, mention it. So that's what you need to put at the back of your mind to be able to get the best from friendship.
No, Tabalova, I agree with you 100%. It's everything you say there. You know, we say, I think online, I've always focused on going deep rather than going wide. A lot of people want to collect connections. Whereas I'd rather have 5 connections that I know really well that I can call my friends. That's always been that's where I've always done it. That comes from meeting people, from caring about who they are, what they do, why they do it. Caring about their problems, caring about what happens in their lives. The same way we do with with friends in real life, right? And I've got friends in real life. Of course, I got a family, but I got friends online who are real friends. Now, Lisa, Paulette, I could go on. Like, I mentioned all of you already. I'm saying, really, I like to think I can reach out to all of you if I need the help. As Wendy asks a question, who helps a helper? Oh, that is. I'll come back to that in a second, Wendy. Who watches the Night Watchman? Yeah, similar question. Someone does, right? Someone does. Sharon Rose, I agree with you, of course. She says, where you go for support is critical. The edge of the blade, in other words, there's two sides, right? It's very easy to be on the other side. What support, support that doesn't enable us, support that's enabling, I guess, is what we need. And we need empowerment, not trauma bonding. I do like that, right? I do like that. Mike says, so the question Mike says, becomes how do you find the perfect sources of support when many are still working at the trauma, even unknowingly? Again, the more you know people, the more you know where they are in life, right? So that's part of the answer, Mike. I don't know whether I have the answer, but look, here's my take on the topic. Now, where do you go for support? Look, we all need help. Leaders need help. The days of thinking I run a company, so I have to be a superhero. The days of thinking I'm online, so I have to show only the good bits, as if you're superhuman, as if you're some sort of superhero. We're not. We're human, right? We all need support. We all need, and support is not always tangible help, as Topolobu said. Support is it can just be someone to listen to you, someone to give you an ear, someone to give you the time, someone to care. It's all of those, right? So I think we all need support. I saw something earlier, which I guess, again, if you believe in the power of God like I do, like I do now, like I speak about now, then the comment I saw earlier goes a long way. It says, here's a comment I saw on an email and on a post recently. It says, your response to a challenge defines you more than the challenge itself. Why is that important to me? That's important to me because, look, things happen to us in life every day. Many things that we would rather not happen, many things that we don't want to happen. We call them disasters, terrible things, bad things. But, I guess I'll start with the fact that everything happens for a reason. I know it's not easy to believe that when we're going through hardships. I get it. I really do get that. How do you tell a man who's starving, don't worry, God will provide for you? I just said it, but but it's hard for people to believe in the moment of crisis because we want instant solutions. We want, something to change right now. But in truth, my friends, I've come to understand that the things that happen to us happen for a reason. We can't see the reason now in front of right now, but when we look back a year from now, 2 years from now, we'll see that what happened today, what happened yesterday, is made us stronger. And so part of my where do you go for support response is look within. We'll have to look within. We must. Because everything that happens to us, I truly believe we are strong enough to deal with. God knows why we have this challenge. God knows that we can deal with it. So that's the first thing that Jenny, look within and believe in your strength. Believe in all the learning you've done till now. Believe in all the work you've done till now. Because that's where half the answer lies, right? And no, I say half, but maybe it's more than half the answer. You can deal with this. Now, look, that doesn't mean that we don't need to go outside to get some help. Like I say, we need people. That's the point, right? Yeah. See, how the problem I see, it's not that there's no support. Far from it. There's a lot of support. You have friends. All the things that my friends have mentioned so far. We've got friends. We've got family. Right? We've got mentors. We've got people to talk to. Yeah, and no, there's agencies in the West, especially. There's agencies probably in every country. Even in saying like I grew up in Nigeria, so I'm sure you two understand where I'm coming from when I say there's people in our village that we can go and talk to. There's people. There's people. There's service providers. There's people, right? There's people online. It's not that there's no support. That's rarely the issue. What's really what concerns me, what bugs me, what gives me a bit of stress when it comes to this topic is that some people actually don't want support. They don't want peace of mind to move on. We were talking earlier with Lydia about peace of mind, right? They don't want to get to a place where they can move on. They want to stay there and dwell on the, oh, life is terrible. Oh, I can't believe this happens to me all the time. It's like that. It doesn't happen to you all the time. Let's move on, right? Let's deal with it. Let's move on. Some people love to dwell in that place where they feel the victims. They feel like, as you say, Mike, they feel like life is happening to them. I think we need to truly come to a place where we reframe how we see life. As Tableau just said, if you have an intimate relationship with your God, or whichever your God is, the universe, whatever what your greater power is, then in your heart of hearts, you got it. The pain will lessen. The lesson will reveal itself. You move forward, right? Of course, I'll say one thing in all of this, which is, here's one thing I will say: the more we help people, the more we care about people, the more people. So those who don't want to reach out for support don't tend to want to help anyone. They're dwelling in their own pain, in their own stress and their own trauma. I get that. And I say, it doesn't help. We need to care about each other. Be the one that helps other people. That way, you feel comfortable reaching out for support when you need them. From whoever. I saw someone the other day who said, "I don't want help from a government agency." I'm like, why not? No, really, why not? And you're homeless. Governments in the West will give you housing, right? So what do you suggest? I said, I messaged back. I said, why not? What are you saying no to exactly? So it's all of that. It's those sort of people who I think, we need to reframe our take on what help looks like and what help is. Help is a good thing. Look, I'll probably end on this. I could say a lot more, but I want to give Mike a chance to speak. But I'll end on this, my friends. You see, just as God will put challenges in front of us to help us learn, so too God will put miracles in front of us when we need them. That's what support looks like. It's a miracle. The question, Toboleva made the point beautifully. Do you see what's in front of you to help you? Are you tuned in enough to tell the difference between the voice of God and the voice of chaos? Right. Now, those who can quiet their voice enough to listen to their God will see that someone suddenly appears in front of them, which is when they need them. Isn't that that's a true miracle? It happens to us every day, right? Don't deny people the chance to help you when you need it. Just like they should know, we ought not to deny the people the chance to help us. That's because that's God's blessing for us, right? Like take it or leave it. That's my take. That's what I want to say today, right? You got this, my friends. Mr. Mike, welcome on stage, my friend. How are you doing? I haven't seen you for a while. I was missing you.
Greetings and salutations.
A bit louder. It's not me. I'm sure. We need you a bit louder, Mike.
Hold on.
No, it's not just me. It's not Mr. Z. It's not me, is it? Can you hear me?
No. Cannot hear him. I think his voice is a bit muffled and low.
You sound a bit muffled, Mike. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Try again.
How about now?
Yep.
Ooh, here we go.
Okay. That's not the usual mic I'm using, but greetings and solicitations to all on stage and to those in the comment section. This has been a very challenging subject for me because I've been going through a period of examination of connections, of interactions, and also really about community. And you know, Annie, what you just said is sort of my fallback position because I think we have to trust God in these interactions, right? Because I believe, unfortunately, humans will fail us. And when that happens, I think we still need to act in love. And yeah, so the other thing I think to everyone's point, I think, is that we also have to be ready and willing to receive help because I think I know sometimes, and particularly in my career, I very rarely actually ask for help where I should have. So, that's certainly a lesson. And, I posted in the comments that life happens for us, not to us. And I think that's really important that we do when we go through these times of challenge or the relationship fails us. I think we have to look and say, where's the lesson? And so, so late last year and in 26 have been a season of learning those lessons. And so that just means what does that mean? That means I'm going to look to the Father certainly first and foremost, and then lean on Him to guide me into those relationships that will be where I should be. Now, to Annie's point, also, I think sometimes we can go through hard times through no fault of our own, by the way, or maybe there's no lesson. Maybe maybe that lesson could be to the other person in the interaction. Maybe we have to have say some hard truths, and as a result, we reap negative responses. And so that's something I'm looking at all of this as I go through this season of sort of reflection, and where to seek out support. And I can't remember who said it, but I also agree with much better to have a smaller group of trusted, wise friends, even though they may say something that may get underneath your saddle. um, and I think Rose said it. Better not to have enablement, but empowerment. I thought that was a really good comment. Um, so anyway, that's all I got for you this wonderful Friday. I am so grateful for Zion and all of you for holding these. I am really, really thankful. Thank you.
I give you the mic, Mrs. A. Yeah.
Yes, amazing. Thank you so much, Uncle Mike, for always gracing us with your presence and sharing so much deep insight, with us. For me, your words of experience is always an inspiration for us to always learn your practical examples. I love it whenever you speak, you always give practical analogy. It's something that people have been through this. Oh, this has happened to me before. So thank you so much for always bringing that deep wisdom, that deep insight. And I also love it that you said it's been a learning curve. It's been a learning season. And I must tell you that you are not alone. So many persons, including myself, from the end of last year down to this month, has been a real, a real learning curve. And also having friends is not about the crowd. It's not about the numbers. It's about the quality of people in your cycle. Sometimes it can just be two quality people. It can just be three. It can be four. Those are the people that you might need that can push you, that can propel you, that can encourage you, that can inspire you to push to the next level. So for most people who are waiting to have 1,000 people around them. Sometimes the numbers can be overwhelming. The numbers can be tiring. Just having those few persons, we'll call it inner carcass, or those strong people in your cycle, those pillar, no, 4 pillar, sorry, those 4 pillar, 5 pillars, as the case may be, to be there to inspire you. It's a whole lot. Thank you so much, Uncle Mike, and every one person. Let's just go to the comment section and just shout some few persons out who have been here with us. Yes, Sharon, we already shouted you out earlier on. Thank you so much. Okay, I think we have a question here from Talam Joseph. He said, "What if no one has no one to?" Okay, I think that's scary. Okay, I think the question is, what if you have nobody in your life to care for you? What if you have nobody in your life to show you love or to show you? I think we answered this earlier, but I'm just going to share my thoughts and I'll pass the mic to Mr. Any other persons who want to contribute on this. What if you have no one to care? The truth is, I used to think like that. I used to be in a place where I thought there is no one to care for me. But how did I overcome that thought, that self limiting belief? Is to put myself in a place where I care for people. Now, you don't really know how much people care for you until you start to return the same energy to them. A lot of us position ourselves to do things for people. You never position yourself to love people. You never position yourself to care for people. Even the Bible says you will reap what you sow. It's as simple as that. When you sow love, you're going to reap love. When you sow care, you're going to reap care. When you sow attention, you're going to reap attention. It has a ripple effect. Garbage in, garbage out. What you give to life, life will give you back in return. It's as simple as that. So if you're in that cycle, or you're in that place in your life right now, you feel that you don't have people to care, people to love you, people to support you, look inward and ask yourself, who am I caring for? Who am I supporting? Who am I loving? Who am I reaching out to? Who am I asking, how are you? And I tell you, if you can position yourself to do this to others, it's going to come back to you in double fruit. So that's my take on that. I cannot wait to hear what Mr. Any or Jamie and another person has to say concerning this.
Tremendous response, and I agree with 100%. Let me welcome Linda. How you doing, Linda? Good to see you always, all the way in Canada. Glad you're here. I see Mr. Ken. Ken is here as well. Like, it's not his alter ego, Kenye. This is Kenny himself, right? The nice part of Kenny. Now, so welcome, welcome, all of you. Mrs. Z, look, I agree, like I said, 100%. I think part of this conversation is, do you love yourself? How much do you love yourself? How much do you love the people around you? Really, that's what that's what I would say to Mr. Joseph as well, right? This conversation is about now. Do you love? No, it's not do you show love to others, but do you actually love other people? And and if anything, do you love yourself? Right? Again, the Bible tells us love yourself, love others like you love yourself, right? Something to that effect. I don't know what I'm sure you will know the exact wording.
Love your neighbor as yourself, Annie.
Do unto others as you
Exactly. I was ever saying that. Thank you, Uncle Mike. Yes.
it's all
and
love.
and and love God too. So,
Yeah,
and there's an order to that. And if you know God loves you, which I think is really the key, then you will always have someone that you can turn to support, because even sometimes, and I'm agreeing with you 100%, Annie and Zion, that we have to practice self-love. I'm right there. I'm
Mm,
speaking to myself probably more than anyone else. I have to practice self love, but that love comes from the ultimate source, who, and we are the object of capital L love. So if we are secure in that, then we have all the support we need, but we still need to reach out to other humans on occasion.
yeah. No, I think look, I think within us, like I said earlier, we've got this. There's nothing we can't solve. So and, as you asked a great question, Mr. Joseph, you know, you can solve the problem yourself. And part of the problem, part of the solution is God will tell you who to turn to. You know, the question doesn't really come back to what Mike just talked about, which again, we're on the same track, totally, Mike, which is he mentioned it too. You know, if we love ourselves, we will find the solution to find peace and happiness. You know, you'd be surprised a lot of people don't love themselves the way they think they do. You know, they're not willing to find peace and happiness deep down. You know, Tom Lever said it earlier. So he said it very well. It's having that intimate trust, intimate faith in whoever your God is. You know, to truly be able to say, I trust you enough to help me deal with it. I didn't say solve it for you. I said help me deal with it. And sometimes God will direct you to someone, direct you to something. You know, sometimes God will speak truth into you. Sometimes God will make you ask yourself a question. And then suddenly you realize there's a path forward. You know, if no, there's always someone to help you, my friend. Like, and like I say, none of us live in a desert by ourselves. Unless you do, then maybe there's no one nearby to help you. There's someone there's someone online to help you. I can tell you that for nothing. Right? You know, it's whether you're willing to reach out, you know, and give the world a chance to help you. You know, again, receive with grace is what Mike said earlier. You know, receive with grace and give with your grace and joy as well. The two go together. You know, say those who don't give don't want to receive. Yeah, is that true? Maybe it is, right? Maybe it is. You know, but I think receiving is such a quality that we have to learn to do with grace. You know, if someone wants to give to us, don't deny them the chance to have joy in their experience in their life. You know, learn to receive, you know, with true happiness and appreciation. Again, as Mike said, that just might be God's mission for them today. Now to help you. So when you deny them that opportunity, what are you saying? You're denying God essentially. You know, this is the danger of not reaching out for help when we need to. You know, there's a lot of people out there to help us. You know, really, you know, if you love yourself, if you love other people, then you realize you have to open to let them help you the way you need it. So Beloba, you come back. We lost you for a second, my friend. Jamie, I don't know if there's anything you want to add.
I have something if Jamie doesn't.
Go for it then. I think Beloba's on mute, so he can speak after you.
I figured out my mic situation. While you were talking, I was contemplating a non-religious. I want to offer a religious one because that's where I'm at, but there's sort of a non-religious response to this too, and that is a mindset change. And it goes along with Zion's positivity um, way of life, actually, and that is having an abundant mindset versus a scarcity mindset. If we are trapped in a scarcity mindset, and by the way, I believe the world promotes one for control purposes. I don't want to go too deep into that, but I believe we have to be honest. So when we're in a scarcity mindset, we're going to A, probably not reach out to, for help, and B, we're going to be kind of constricting ourselves, which I think is not what God wants or what we need, non-religiously to be. We need to be open to any what's the word I'm looking for? Exercising our agency. We have agency. When we believe we don't, then we're going to constrict. We're gonna fall into the scarcity mindset, and we're not going to be available to reach out or be available to help either. But we aren't going to be reaching out to maybe that person, or to your point, any that person is reaching out to us, and we're saying, we don't want the help, or we don't see this miracle that's in front of us, because we're we're thinking of this, that there's nothing that can be done, or kind of woe is me. And by the way, I'm raising my hand again. You can't see me because I'm not on camera, but I was in that mindset. I practiced that mindset, and like I said, I didn't necessarily reach out to help when I needed to. So I encourage everyone, that's on the stage and in the comment section to reach out when you need to. Absolutely.
Thank you so much, my friend. I agree with you. And I agree with you 100%. Look, if we sit quietly enough, God will tell us. I mean, and Mike, I'm not religious at all. I don't go to church. I don't pray. I'm sorry. I think for me, it's a realization that miracles happen. And whether I put it on God, whether I put it on the universe, whether I put it on spirit, it's all the same to me. Right? It's just believing that there's a greater power than us that controls our our destiny and our existence, our experiences. And so, whatever it is for you, and I assure you, if you sit down enough, long enough, or quite quietly enough, you will hear where you can turn to for help. Just like I will say to anyone any day of the week, if that idea comes to you about your business, don't question it. Work out how to do it. Really. So, and that sounds as crazy as it sounds. The other day I was in my back garden, for example, and it came to me, start a building company. I thought, I don't want to do any building. So it's not about me doing building. It's an idea. Is that where my millions lie? I don't know. And I'm not going to ignore it. I'm going to talk to my friends who do building and say, right, Phil, let's start a building company. I'll manage it. You arrange the work and the clients and get the work done. I'll do the administration part. What I'm saying is just like that, we're looking for help, right? When it comes to you, don't argue with God about it. Just go and do it. Just reach out. If the voice says call someone, call Jamie. Call Jamie. If the voice says go to your local pastor. Go to your local pastor. If the voice says talk to the old granny across the road, go and talk to her. I'm saying, we have to be willing and able to truly grab the gifts that are in front of us. Me and Mike call it a miracle. Now, what are your miracles that you're ignoring every day? Right? Don't be that person. Jamie, I want to come to you, my friend. Now, let's have an over. I'd love to hear some of your thoughts before we wrap up.
I apologize. I had to step away for a little bit because I had to take a phone call. We're talking about just summarizing our thoughts from today.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I heard a little bit of what Tobaloba said. I kind of jumped in a little bit on what Mike was saying, but no, I think what the bottom line is with this conversation once again is, know the people that know the people that you built up that you can go to support, right? The people that are around you, some of your closest friends and family, some of the people that have been with you for a long time, just know that, those are the people you can always count on. And, just realize that the closer, once again, what I was talking about when I was speaking is the closer circle that you have, the closer of the people who are going to wrap their arms around you. Those are the ones that you can go to, the knows who will ride or die for you and be there for you to support. They're not going to ask for anything in return, right? Because they know that it's good enough it makes them happy to support you. And they know that when they need it, you're going to support them in return, right? And that's better than that's better than anything else, is to get that support both ways and know that it's a two-way street and know that you can rely on some close people to be there in your corner.
You said, my friend, beautifully said. There's always people there, right? Always. If we just look and we're willing to reach out to the right spaces. Again, to the levels point searing in my head, this is not all about money. This is about emotional support, being there for people. Right? It's not always reaching out for money. As if that's all that's important. So our peace of mind is probably more important than money anyway. So Biloma, you've listened a long time. What's your final take that we can learn from you today, my friend, on our topic? No, you're muted. You're muted. You muted yourself. So we haven't muted you, I don't think. No, still not. No, so I'm muting you where I think you're muted. But
Yeah.
you should. Yeah, no, perfect. We can hear you now. We can hear you now. Cool. Oh, no, we've lost you again. We've lost you. Where have we lost it? Yeah, we've lost you. We've lost your sound somewhere. You're not muted. So you don't.
We can see you talking, but we cannot hear any sound. We know your mouth is moving, you're sharing some gems with us, but we cannot hear you. Maybe you just have to go out the room and come back again. That might solve it. Okay, today you can just leave the room, come back again. That might solve the it might be a glitch, you know. As wait for to be yeah, Mr. Any, you muted yourself.
Yeah, yeah. So I think Nigerian internet working. Tabulemi, I say refresh your screen like Mr. Z says. Refresh and see if that works.
Yes.
I see Rosemary, Positivity, Queen. How are you? We haven't seen you for such a long time, Rosemary. Yes, we're glad you're in this space once again. How are you doing? Welcome back. So another one to mention, Roxy. Right,
Professor, Professor,
that's
is
Dr.
that right?
Roxana. It might Professor Roxana. It must be right. you know,
Yeah.
so
Yes, I think that's Professor Rosanna
easy
Ezekiel.
maths and money. That's her expertise, right? That's a YouTube channel. That's why. Professor Roxana,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
wrong. I'm wrong, right? I can take it. But welcome. You know. Well, I mean, Mrs. Z, I guess I'll let you conclude. If Tabulego comes back, then let him
Yes.
speak, right? Otherwise,
Yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Annie. Thank you so much, King Jamie. Thank you so much, Uncle Mike. And everyone person to be lover. Thank you too, who has joined us today in this empowering conversation. I tell you, we can go on and on to talk about this topic of where do you go for support? Because at the end of the day, each and every one of us, we need support, we need help, we need people to be there for us and people to inspire us. So I encourage you, if you don't have a support system, get one, get two, get three, as the case may be. Make sure you have somebody in your cycle who is there to help you. Because the journey of being an entrepreneur, it's not an easy one that you should go alone all by yourself. There is need for you to have someone, for you to have a people, for you to have a community that you can lean on, that you can reach out to, that can lend you their strength, their energy, their time, and their resources to help you go through. One of the things I wanted to add to the conversation is, where do you go for help? One major thing I do is I go to God for support. I go to God for support in prayers, because as a Christian entrepreneur, I can never take God out of the picture, because God is what makes everything holds together. So I always go back to God when I need support, when I need help. I always ask Him questions. So for me, it has really been a game changer for me going back to God. And it's good to go to people. It's good, yes, it's very important, but why not go to the Alpha and the Omega, the one who is the end at the beginning, that knows everything, that has all the solution? So go to Him, and He will be able to direct you to the right people you need to meet. Sometimes we can meet people out of emotions, we can meet people out of feelings, but then the people we are meeting like them might not be able to solve us problem, might not be able to be a solution to us. But then when God directs you to the right people, that brings the right solution for you. It makes the journey easier. It makes the journey smooth. Before we round up, I think we have Cyrus with us, Wish the Boy. I was just going to give to Tobiloba again so that he can share with us his last thought. And then we'll go to Cyrus so that he can share his take today. Then we call it a day for today. Tobiloba, if you can hear us, please go for it. Can you say something? Ooh, I think you see the same. Did you change your device? Ooh, we still can.
You can hear me? Oh,
Yes, try again. Try
Now,
again. We can hear you
now,
now.
you can hear me?
now, yeah, perfect.
Okay, good, good. What I was trying to share the other time is that whoever don't want to be gained can also gain. So if you want to water the ground, there's an adage in my local language that says that whoever wants to step on a wet ground must be able to pour water in the front, meaning that you must be willing to give help too before you will be expecting help from people. There's so many people that if I reach out, then they will be like, "Oh, you two, you are not like that." You see that statement? You two, you are not like that. If I were in your shoes, you would never neglect me. You have to build that kind of relationship. Just like that guy that says that, "Oh, what if I don't have anybody to help me?" Everybody used to feel like that, just like what Zion has shared earlier. Every one of us we used to feel like that. But to be honest, nobody's without help. Nobody's without help. God even wants to help you if nobody wants to help you. So it means that as long as you don't see God as someone you should just go to anytime you want gifts, you should not just go to him like that. Then you shouldn't treat your friends like that too. Don't just go to them when you need help. Don't just go to them when you need goodies from them. When you feel like they are the one, they have the solution. When everything is okay with you, you don't even remember them. You don't remember maybe they can be of help in one way or the other. How can I help in this thing you're doing? You must be able to ask that question once in a while that, bro, how can I be of help? Not necessarily because you are expecting help, but whoever needs help must also be able to provide help. So you must understand that as much as you believe that you believe in prayer, you believe in God, I don't believe prayer is a master key. I believe it's also a key, is a key, not a master key. Humility, relationship, wisdom, friendship, they are also keys that unlocks doors. Good characters, good behavior, those are keys as well. So you must understand that.
I heard the noise. Tabulova, we get you, my friend. We do get you. Thank you so much for joining us. Mr. Z, are you muted? I think you are. Yeah, I need to be. You're making noise in the background. Anyway, no,
Yes,
so
I think.
I see. You say Leanna's joined us. So welcome, Leanna. So as you were just doing, Mr. Z, talking to our friend Brian. Brian, we haven't seen you for so long. Since Lives came in, we've lost Brian. Brian used to be one of our amazing sharers every day on our stage, right? So, thank you so much for joining us, Brian. You can join the studio, so we'll work it out for next time. I sent you the link. There's two links we send these days. There's a link to join the audience and there's a link to join the studio to speak. So, we'll sort it out for next time. Hopefully, we'll get to hear some of your thoughts on that topic. So I do love. Oh, sorry, I'm talking on right. Let's go to Cyrus, and then I'll come back to Ryan's comments. Welcome, Ryan. We do see you. Of course, we do. So Jason is here as well. Who else do I see? That's what I hate, right?
Hey, good to see Chasen in here. Good to see you, buddy. Long
Yeah.
time no talk. Hope all is well. Chasen does an organization where he talks about fair income for people working for companies and making sure people get fair, livable wages. And I'm part of his organization and support it. And it's good to see him on here and jumping on our call.
Awesome, David. So thank you for elaborating and tell us a bit more what Jason does. Mr. Cyrus, you've been very patient. Share with us. What's your take on where do we go for support?
Hi everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfectly.
Yep.
Hi, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Zion, Tabloba, and Annie. Thank you so much for providing the support and knowledge that our community needs, and I'm grateful. I'm a part of this community. Um, when I need support, I don't go immediately asking for support, because I've learned in my personal journey, I've learned when I need support, that means I have stopped. I've started to think the system that I have in place is not working. So when you go for support, that means the system either is non-existent or you have it, but it's not effective. It's not working for you. So when you go for support, don't just go for moral support. Go for a support that actually fixes your system. Because if there's something wrong with your system and you go for emotional support, the emotional support will sort you out for just one evening, one morning, one afternoon, right? So, but you need to fix what is not working. Moral support is amazing. Okay, so go for moral support, but at the same time, just um, keep it in your peripheral and just focus on what I just mentioned as well. It works for me. I hope it works for you as well. And so my main take is I go for support when I've tried everything, when I've exhausted every avenue, when I can't. Otherwise, why should I go to someone like Jamie and Zion and Annie and take their time when I haven't tried everything? Actually, I haven't checked all of my resources. I haven't exhausted every avenue. Their time belongs to someone who really needs them. Okay, when you really need help, go to an entrepreneur, an experienced entrepreneur, and take their time. But make sure you go to them when you've tried everything else, exhausted every avenue, and also advice never replaces a good system. Okay, so and I'm going to finish on this. The negative side of advice, you might find it oxymoronic, but it does exist. It is actually applicable. Let's say you desperate for help and support, and you go to someone and ask for help, right? Um, the worst kind of advice for your business is an advice that you will not tweak and you will not question, because you believe in that person so much, and that person is amazing and they give amazing advice, right? But if you just receive their advice and apply it as it is, because the advice comes from a good place, but it doesn't mean it's going to be fitting for your business. You have to tweak it. So if you don't question and don't tweak it, that could be a waste of your time, could be damaging to your process, damaging to your business. So go to them, go for advice, take it a little bit, tweak it a little bit, and then apply it, because it's not one size fits all. That's my take. Thank you.
Like that, again, there's something there, right? Again, for those who struggle to go to ask for support, I'm with you, Cyrus. It normally suggests that they're not really able to make the change that they need to make to fix the issue. Many people don't actually need to fix the issue, right? So that's why I agree with you, Cyrus. Fix the system, and then the issue won't arise again. It may well do in a different form, right? As we said earlier. God might be trying to teach you a lesson, might be trying to teach the other person a lesson as well, right? Maybe speaking truths, but literally, we have to be willing to take support and turn them into solutions. Sometimes it is within, sometimes it's changing things physically around us, how we do things. Yeah, thank you so much, Cyrus. I see Alavin's joined us. Let me welcome Coach Carrie. For Alavin, I'm coming to you now. So, Coach Carrie, I see you. Welcome. If you have to watch the replay, then please don't be shy. That's the way where most people will go who are joining us late in the day, right? So, Rosemary says, before asking for support, also provide value and nurture relationships. That's what Dana was saying when we started off today, right? So true, so true, so true. You don't make real friends and keep real friends and be a real friend, then asking for support is a struggle. Of course it is. Right? Well, if you're that person who does, who you know, this is hard, but it's very easy. This is about what's in your soul. If you are at peace, if you are empowered, if you believe in the power of loving people, then they'll give you love back. And there's no, this is not a trick. Right? This is true. When Zion says, "Give it to God," I believe in God. I'm with you. If you can give this, if you truly believe, I'll be fine. I truly believe it. Then everything else that we've said comes into play. Everything what Cyrus just said, right? When if you think I'm doomed, everything always goes wrong for me. It never go right. Then what can I say? It probably will go wrong, right? If you think it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Alavine, welcome, my friend. How are you doing? Share with us. Where do you go for support? Alavine, you're still muted.
I think she's muted.
Yes, hopefully she will mute in a second. Oh, Alavine, now we're going to be beaten. I see Yolanda's joined us as well. Well, Kenny's told me Yolanda's joined us. And we will thank you for inviting friends today, Kenny. Thank you so much. Yolanda, I appreciate you joining us. So if you have to watch the replay, then please do watch the replay. Do comment, do engage. As if you're in the live. And of course, if you're on our YouTube or Facebook, Mrs. Z's Facebook, then do comment, like, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We always need numbers, right? I don't know, Alavin, that spinning, there's a word for it, like that spin of doom.
She's having a little bit of
yes, like connectivity issue. But we do have to wrap up, though. We do have to wrap up, right? So, Mrs. Z, I'll let you do what you do, my friend. I'll let you do.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Eni. Thank you so much, Mr. Kenneth. Special shout out to you for the invitation and for everyone who has joined us on today's conversation. I tell you, you make this event what it is, and we can spend the entire day here and we will not get tired, but we have to go. And I know we have other things to do today. But then next week, Friday, is another time, it's another day where we come in. You always see us on Fridays, same time, 7 p.m. Nigeria time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Then we always come in here. It's all about positivity. It's all about spreading the energy, supporting one another, and making sure that we are all inspired in everything that we do. We are very intentional about people. And that's why for me, I always say, whatever you do, make sure you love people, support people, be kind to people. That's kind words, acts of kindness, show of love can go a long way to make a difference in people's life. You don't know what people are going through right now. You don't even have a clue of the magnitude of things that is happening in people's life. But you don't have to know. Your kind words of encouragement to your children can add friends to give them hope, to give them faith, to encourage them to keep living their life. So if you have an opportunity to support people, go all out, support people, because those are the things that actually make a difference in people's life. So we encourage you, keep spreading the love, keep spreading the kindness, keep spreading the positivity, because that's how we make the world a better place, and that's how we achieve. And never forget, positivity is not negotiable, because when you are positive, you are possible, and in positivity, there's always endless possibilities for you, for me, and for each and every one of us. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Next week Friday is another time, same station, same time, and we're looking forward to see you here again.
Look, I guess I would love us to leave with the idea with what Mr. Ryan says. Welcome, Ryan. I don't know we've met before, but glad you're here. As Ryan says, for me, support means leaning on the people who remind me of who I am when I forget. reaching out to strength. That's that's the point. Reaching out is it's not weakness. It's always it can be the best thing to do. It's just, it's making sure that you have the will to support, to love yourself, and the will to love others, and support others when your chance comes. Yeah, no man builds business all by themselves. No one's ever made million pounds by themselves, right? With other people. So reaching out is it's a strength. Take it as that. Thank you, Mrs. Z. Glad you're back, my friends. Great to have you back. I'm glad we're back as well on this show. See you on Friday, my friends. Take care.
Yep. See you guys later.
Yeah.
Thanks again for
Alright.
joining us, and we'll see you next week. And good to be back together again. Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone.
See you later.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
You're not ready to play our outgoing song, Mrs. Z. Are you? Let me see.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, let's go for it. Here goes.
Every step forward is a new beat to your drama. She's success with global.media.com and celebrate it with or without champagne or rum. She's success with global.media.com.